Raider fans don't like me.
That's the thing, actually.
Chiefs will be the last place team in the AFC West.
Is this thing about to explode? Because I don't have the Raiders finishing last. Broncos had the easiest schedule in the league last year. I think that Andy Reid is that good a coach where if we just travel back in time, right, and we give him Alex Smith, like he's still going to have success with Alex Smith in this season.
And I have the Chargers basically running away with the division at 12-5. That if the Chargers are going to do it, this has to be the damn year they do it, right?
Welcome back to NFL Mike's Corner, and we've been talking about the Raiders schedule on the channel with Joe here. We talked about the Chargers schedule on the channel with Joe here. Now we're here to give our final AFC West predictions for the 2026 season. You can change this if you want before the season a little bit, Joe. We're going to give the gist of it. What do we have each team going record-wise? Obviously, we already spoiled what we're going to say for the Raiders, spoiled probably what we're going to say for the Chargers. We're going to go team by team still, though, and just briefly talk about what we think for their season this year, where they got better, where they got worse, and who's winning this division at the end. Joe, thanks for joining NFL Mike's Corner again. We'll put all of Joe Morel's links in the comment section below if you're a Raiders fan. I know that Raiders fans like you.
Raider fans don't like me.
That's the thing, actually. They like to hate on you. How about that? They like to hate on you. They like to hate on me. We're a tag team against the Raiders fans. Let's just do this in reverse order. Who do you have finishing last in the AFC West this year? Because my take's a little hot.
I go back and forth on this all the time. We always talk about it. There's always time that it's going to happen. I think this is the year. I think the Chiefs finished last year.
Well, I guess last year technically they did too. So, you guys finished last still. You guys finished last still. You're right.
But I don't think it's like a bad last. Like I don't know. Like you know what? No, I can't do it. I still think the Raiders finished last.
What world are we in? Is everything okay? Is this thing about to explode? Because I don't have the Raiders finishing last.
I don't either. I'm trying to be like
unbiased. No, this is the show to be biased. Look at you're on the Raiders side here. There's a line in the middle. This is designed for you to be biased.
Every offseason I get hyped up. And I said that. I said it yesterday that every season you should get hyped up because every season starts. That's why they play the games, right? I've been going back and forth because I don't see the Chargers at all finishing last. So there's three teams, we've talked about this before, where Broncos, I don't think they're going to be as good as they were last year. Chiefs, I have a lot of questions about their health and the age of that team. We've seen the digression, but we've always tried to discount them, and they never discount, right? They never go to where we need to. Last year was maybe the first sign that we actually saw it, but it took a Patrick Mahomes major injury for it to happen. And with the Raiders, they're a rebuilding team, and I don't want to put a lot of expectations because I say the Raiders are going to finish second or third in the division. Some Raider fans, they don't, and they struggle because I think I did a thing where I saw the Raiders winning 8 or 9 games, and I can see that. I really do. But I can also see where they finish like 5 or 6 wins and still be a setup for the future. I'm fighting with myself. It's early in the offseason, so you know what, Mike? I'm doing it. Let's just do it. Chiefs will be the last place team in the AFC West this season.
I still have a different pick than you. I have the Broncos finishing last, but this is a scenario. I'm giving this also to make my storyline match. I'm giving the Raiders a win over the Chargers for this to happen. If the Raiders don't get at least one win over the Chargers, they would finish in last at 7-10 because I have them tied at 8-9 in third place with the Broncos at 8-9. With the Raiders getting one win on the Chargers and the Broncos getting one win on the Chargers, I guess technically in Week 18. So this is a situation where those Chargers games would flip the last place for me, and it's hard for me to predict Chargers games as a diehard Chargers fan. I'm with you though. I think that the Broncos last year they talk about the Patriots' easy schedule. The Broncos had the easiest schedule in the league last year, not the Patriots. Everyone needs to go and look at the quarterbacks they played, the teams they played, and the thing is every NFL team is, Joe. Every NFL team is watching that Texans game and what the Texans did to Bo Nix. Every NFL team is watching what the Jets did to Bo Nix last year. They beat them 13-11. Every team is on tape watching what the Packers were doing to Bo Nix in the first half before the Micah Parsons injury. Every team is out there on tape watching what the Chargers did to Bo Nix in the games that they played him. We held him to 10 points in the first. It was 10-3 in a Trey Lance versus Bo Nix game with the first seed on the line, Joe. The Broncos putting it all on the line. They ended up winning that game 16 or 19-3, I think. Like, this is not a dominant offense in Denver, and it's not because of the weapons. It's not because of the O-line. That's all really good. Their defense is number one. Why are they in all these close games where they just barely win? Why do they have to come back from 30 points against the Giants? Because Bo Nix was terrible in the first half of all these games.
Just go back and watch the beat writers talk to Sean and Peyton for the first couple weeks of the season, where they're asking him, like, is Bo Nix digressing? And he's having to defend Bo Nix and be like, it's a sophomore slump or whatever, like talk.
They were fighting on the sideline like every week. If you watch the actual games and you watch them play for play, the replay, every week there's an incident on the sideline with Bo Nix and Sean Payton, some kind of beef or some kind of disagreement.
Hey, but now it's all good because they got Jalen Waddle, right? That fixes it.
I don't think so. I think it helps the offense a little bit on third down. It's going to give Bo Nix some more easy completions, but it's similar to what they had. It's just an upgraded version slightly.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, they had a good record last year. They didn't, like, win, like, where you were like, oh, wow, like the Denver Broncos or something. Like, they won games, and you were like, they snuck by. So I think their record was inflated last year with the Broncos.
They got lucky.
And their only move this year, they lost more than they added. Their only big move this year was Jalen Waddle. And it's like, did that turn the needle? Like, did that make you go, okay, cool? Not really.
Yeah, and like, think about it. Did they sweep the Raiders last year? Yeah, they got 2 wins on the Raiders, the worst team in the NFL, and I think those games were even close for no reason.
Yeah, one of them was like 13-10, I think, or 10-7 or something like that on a Thursday night.
Okay, so let's do it here. You get Cam Ward week 1. They beat him by 1 score, his first game of his career. Then the 2 teams they played that were actually solid, the Colts before the Danny Dimes injury, Chargers early in the year, both losses. Then you get Jake Browning on the Bengals. Then Jalen Hurts blows that game if you go and watch that game back. They beat the Jets.
The Colts game like a field goal missed or something like that?
The Eagles game? The Eagles were up by 10. Like, Bo Nix was down like 21-7 for all of this game. Or I think it was 17-7, yeah. And then in the last second, they just started throwing it up, and, the Eagles defense completely blew the game. Jets, Giants, beat them both by less than 3 points. Cowboys game, that's a legit win, I guess, for the Broncos, but the Cowboys defense was just a mess last year. Just absolutely terrible. Texans, 3-point win over Davis Mills. This was not CJ Stroud. Raiders, 10-7 win over who? You know what I mean? Who's that quarterback? I don't even know who's that quarterback. The Chiefs with Mahomes beat them by a field goal, but then the Chiefs without Mahomes beat them by 1 score. Like, all of these games, they could have lost. All of the games, and something lucky happened, a bounce this way, a break that way, and they clutched up and ended up winning the game. I think that if half of these flip the other way, they get to my record at 8-9 even last year, or 9-8 last year. But then I have the Raiders at second to last at 8-9, 7-10. So I think that it's going to be Broncos Raiders at the bottom this year, and everyone's kind of underrating the Chiefs. Not that I think the Chiefs are a super team again or anything like that, but I do have them at 10-7 or 11-6 still. I just think that they're still going to beat the bad teams by schematics. I think that Andy Reid is that good a coach where if we just travel back in time, right, and we give him Alex Smith, like, he's still going to have success with Alex Smith in this season. So I think he's going to have success with an injured Patrick Mahomes even.
That's why I'm kind of down on the Chiefs this year, because if there's any year, it's going to be this year, where Patrick Mahomes has been hurt all season, or offseason. He has to come back for that injury. Travis Kelce has been doing his own thing, right? Like, he's older. You've seen it on the field that he's older. Their top wide receiver is in trouble again, and they might be without him again. They always start off slow, and to add even more to the slow start of the Chiefs, I think that's where they get. Do I think they get better towards the end of the year? Yeah, they always do. Andy Reid always finds a way to do it. But will it be too much for the Chiefs when it comes down to it? Because everybody in the AFC West this year has a tough schedule, Mike. Everybody is playing some top teams. I'll have the Chiefs at the bottom of the AFC West at 7 wins, 10 losses.
I can see it.
Then I have my Raiders in third place at 8-9. Then I have the Broncos at 9-8, and I have the Chargers basically running away with the division at 12-5.
I would like that. Trust me. In order for the Chiefs to get to this record, Joe, beware. I have them starting 4-0. That also is like a bold prediction. They got the Colts, Broncos the first 2 weeks. We're gonna know, I think, very early on in the season what a lot of these teams are like, because even if they're losing close games, that's signs that this will be a competitive division again. If we get through the first 4 weeks and the Chargers have 3-1 or 4-0 record, and like the Chiefs lost two games or 2-2, Broncos lost a game or 2 or 2-2, the Raiders are falling out of it already. Like, I think you're right. The Chargers are just going to take off with it because no one's schedule is getting easier from there. It's only going to get harder from there. The Chiefs Broncos week 1 game is one of my most anticipated games because I want to see how Bo Nix does against Spags and when they have a fully healthy offense, because I feel like Spags, if anyone is going to put exactly what we need on tape to expose Bo Nix for the entire season, it's him. And he's going to do it against the secondary. Watch. It's going to be a rookie secondary, and they're going to shut him down.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think the Chargers, like, if there's a year that the Chargers should be able to do it, it's this year, because the Raiders are rebuilding, Broncos are overrated, and the Chiefs are old and hurting and coming back from injury. Yeah. This is the year, like, you could talk about the Chargers, but the Chargers offensive line, but they revamped it. There's new youth going in there. Like, this is the year that if the Chargers are going to do it, this has to be the damn year they do it, right? Because if they don't do it this year and you allow all the rest of the teams to get healthy or rebuild, it's going to be be a long couple of years after that. So this, as a Charger fan, you know, Mike, that this has to be the year that the Chargers put it down.
I know.
They have to assert their dominance this year.
But what happens? Like, and that's another thing we didn't talk about is the Chargers and Raiders adding centers. I think both those two moves are the two of the sneakiest moves in the entire offseason because of how much that can do for your O-line without adding anyone else. You know what I mean? But the Chargers get to this point, Joe, where we get to this exact spot in the offseason and we go, what could possibly go wrong now?
Well, yeah,
that's when an avalanche falls from the mountaintops of the Chargers curse and the worst possible thing you can imagine happens next.
What if the Chargers trade for A.J. Brown?
I think it makes
Are
it
you
better.
Have more expectations? Higher up
Yeah,
there now? Like,
yeah. I mean, you're investing.
Really?
That's an all-in style move because you're putting in a guy here that's in his prime, a top 15, top 10 wide receiver. Like you're jumping from, okay, our goal is to win one playoff game with the team that we built to now we're adding the all-in pieces, so we're all in for the Super Bowl.
And where is the Super Bowl this year?
In SoFi. But I think by the end of this season, Joe, QJ can be
The last time the Super Bowl was in SoFi, who won it?
the Rams. We could do Rams Chargers. That would be fun. It'd be a rematch too.
Wouldn't that be something? So you have Rams Chargers in the regular season at SoFi.
Old team versus a young team.
And then you have Rams Chargers in the Super Bowl at SoFi. That'd be something. I don't know if the nation would watch it because it'd be two LA teams right here because ideally you would want an East Coast versus West Coast team.
Yeah, we're going to have two LA teams going at it. And I think it's a foregone conclusion that Drake's going to be the halftime show. So then Drake is cooking LA and Kendrick in the halftime show. Like, there's storylines everywhere in this.
I don't think there's Drake. I don't think it's Drake.
It's probably going to be someone and then they're going to feature Drake. That's probably what's going to happen.
It's going to be Taylor Swift.
Oh, God. I'm not going then. But all right, that's our prediction for the West. I got the Chargers at 12-5 or 13-4, depending on how that Raiders game goes and the Broncos games, the Chiefs games. I think that the AFC West, you never can just count them all as wins, but last year the Chargers won them all. No brag. But
Downfall of the Chiefs is this year, Mike.
I hope so. But I have them at second place at 10-7 and making the playoffs still as a wild card team. The Raiders I have at 8-9, and this 8-9 is a situation where I would put Fernando out there early and start in week 1. So I actually have them losing some games that maybe even Kirk Cousins might give him another chance if he's good. I just don't know. And then the Broncos, I have them down here at 8-9 as well, or 7-10, depending on that last week 18 game against the Chargers. Yours was Chargers, Raiders second, or Broncos second?
No, I had Chargers 12-5, Broncos 9-8, Raiders 8-9, Chiefs 7-10.
Comment your guys' record predictions for the AFC West down below. Go and watch some of our other videos. We broke down the Raiders schedule game for game. We broke down the Chargers schedule game for game. We talked about some other stuff throughout the last couple of weeks here on the NFL Mike's Corner channel. So you can probably see me and Joe in the thumbnail and go and watch any of those videos. Let us know in the comment section again your guys' picks for the AFC West. Like the video, subscribe for more NFL content every single day. And who is going to win this division? Come on, Chargers. What could possibly go wrong, right? I guess sooner rather than later, football final destination again won't lie.
It takes talent, yeah, you gotta have love for the game. Super Bowl to Hall of Fame. Touchdown, I hope that you got your head in the game. From the field to the microphone.